Yo, what is up, Dicky Doinkers? How's it going? I did some comment reading and have kind of analyzed things, and I have a few adjustments I want to make to the list. We did the boy Kyle from Brand of Sacrifice a little dirty. After reviewing the list and seeing where he ended up falling, I kind of disagree with actually where he landed. I would say he's at least in low A tier. After reviewing the list, it just feels like this was the biggest oversight by far. Second thing, I have now listened to the new Meyer lore, and I have to say, Mr. Watson has improved greatly. Dan's impressed me. His progress is pretty significant in this new stuff. I'm very happy with it. I would move him, honestly, probably to up there with Kyle, either low A tier or high B. Good shit. Thanks for recommending that. I'm really glad to have my opinion changed on this.
Up next, we got Dane from To The Grave. He's the vocalist of To The Grave. They're like an Australian deathcore breakthrough band. I listened to their album the other day, and he does some shit on there he doesn't really do on some of the singles. He's got a pretty creative range. I personally think this dude's like something a deathcore vocalist should aspire to sound like. I think he's got his own unique sound while still doing the like principal three. You know, he's got the high, the low, the mid, and he's got like 3 different sounds of each of those. And then he does these cool like squealy things too that aren't like pig squeals. They're like high shrieky squeals. They're like things. They're very cool sounding. And I think to be able to come out today in a deathcore band and sound that unique is definitely like, I would say something. At least an A. I don't know anything about his live, but his lyrics too, he talks about like, a lot of like, surprisingly for deathcore, he talks about like real world issues that especially in Australia that they have. And I thought that was pretty commendable too. I say personally A, but I don't know how you guys feel. I know you guys have
I've
at
only
least
heard a couple songs. I've only heard a couple songs, but I would either say B or an A. That's
I've only heard what you showed me, and it was phenomenal.
We'll go like
a B plus.
B plus.
B plus.
I think he's definitely the bar for like
A minus.
Good deathcore vocalist. Ian Bear, vocalist of Rings of Saturn. Dude, this dude honestly it had the potential to be like the king of the deathcore genre. I remember he was like doing vocal covers on YouTube like way back, like 2007 type shit, and was like the king of like false chord. Like nobody was doing false chord at the time, and he was like came through with these fucking crazy highs, and he was
his
like
highs are
reinventing these lows. Like he was doing these like I just seeing him like evolve and like make all these new sounds was so sick. And then he got Rings of Saturn and was like, okay, this is sick. And then they started pumping out albums, and then I feel like he just was like, okay, I found it, I'm good now, and then stopped evolving as like this dope vocalist and just found his like niche and just stuck in that. And so it lost its like it's hype in my eyes. It was like up to like Dinger. It was like, yo, this is fucking really cool shit. And then the next album, the Lugao, it was like, all right, you're still good, but like, this sounds like the last album. You know, it's not much different. And he's accurate live. He can nail those parts. You know, the fact that they're so fast.
You're saying he does what he does well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's good at his job in what they've done.
For sure.
But I think there's some personal reserve I have knowing that I feel like he limited himself, and I think he could have been this like
I
even
wonder if
more
that's
exceptional
something
vocalist.
that like he limited or was limited like for him, like maybe
like they just flat like
maybe
we got our
I don't know, maybe they were like, yeah, let's just keep this sound, this sounds really sick. I mean, I don't know, who knows.
Right. Yeah.
I've always liked his voice. I thought his voice was cool. His highs were always like really impressive to me.
I think enunciation is a big issue he's suffered from a lot, is that you can listen to a whole album and be like, I don't think you said a single word. But he's good at making those noises. I think he's got one of the strongest false chord highs in the game.
Yeah.
And that's, I think like an A, but like with some desire, you know? Like
desirable
like
A.
You're like a high main A. Like you're almost, like I could give you the A plus, but I'm not quite gonna. Moving on.
Yo, sorry to interrupt the video. It's not an ad read, don't leave. I just want to say there's 3 vocalists that we missed in this tier list, or rather I forgot to put in, that after posting part 1, I was like, oh my god, how could I have forgotten these 3? So I just want to include them quickly. I know I don't have the other 2 guys here, but I still feel like it is my due diligence to put them on the list. First is Darius from Spite. I honestly can't believe I forgot him in all this. He's like a king of his craft, honestly. He's such a superb vocalist. He has the uniqueness in his yells, even his lows, like they're not the strongest lows, but they're unique. Like I don't hear too many people screaming like he does in his lower tone. He has, like I said, he's got those yells and they kind of translate into some of his other like more mid tones. He has that shriek in them that keeps it very unique, very interesting. I think he has a pretty good flow on a lot of stuff. He keeps that very powerful. Like he knows when to hit, when to use like a one-liner, and when it's appropriate to accent certain lines, you know, and to really enunciate certain powerful lines. I think live too, he's very consistent. I haven't seen any like bad live footage of him ever. His presence is very huge live. He's just a very overall very good vocalist. He, I think, is something that a lot of vocalists should look up to and strive to be like, to find your sound and get really good at it and just fucking crush it in that sound. And I think he speaks a lot for himself. I would put Darius in a confident A tier. Second screamy boy that I forgot to mention is Hunter Madison of the band Hunt the Dinosaur. No doubt a very solid vocalist. He's more known for the speed in his vocals, being the rap vocalist, the very fast, spitty guy. I think he's got a very solid low. I think his mid's a lot better. I think his mid is very strong, and he should use it a little bit more because it sounds very powerful and it's very enunciated. His highs are fun. You know, he can obviously do the highs and lows very, very quickly, and it's fun to hear this new, I don't know, like new wave of, it's not really new metalcore, but it has that influence, you know, of like the boppier like rap beats and flows, but with screams and shit, and I think it works really well for the uniqueness of what it is. I don't think that they're per se the best sounding screams, you know, there's nothing inherently wrong with them, but they're not, you know, the lows are very airy sounding, and that's just never been something I've desired in a sound. I think his mids are where he accelerates, and his highs, he's got a fun high. I don't think it's the strongest high, but it's the fact that he can do it as fast as he can definitely makes it more interesting. I would give Hunter a B-. I don't think he's quite that solid, you know, boom B tier, but he's like right around the cusp of it. He has enough uniqueness to where I think he stands above the bar, but I don't think he's the next breakthrough guy. Our third screamy Mimi is Will Ramos, and for those of you who don't know, he is the new vocalist of Lorna Shore. Sorry to disappoint, it is not your boy. But he is from the band Awaken Providence, and he's a very strong vocalist. I think he nails what Fry vocals should be. Like, he controls them in a way that is very confident. He can flow very well. He can keep his rhythm. He can keep his breath without sounding winded. He can get to those lower guttural sounds. He can, pig squeal. He can hit highs. He can do the tunnel fry high. He can even pitch scream too. I heard some stuff in Darkened Gospel by Awaken Providence where he does some cool pitch screams, and they work really well with his sound. Regardless of how you feel about CJ not being in Lorna Shore anymore, I think Will might not be able to hit as gurgly and as pukey sounding as like those demon lows that CJ had, but I think Will is a very strong replacement, and I think he has a ton of room to just branch off in any direction he wants. I think he's really found and nailed his sound, and this is a big defining moment right now where he is going to take the band either in a very different direction, or he's going to, I don't know, just completely change his own vocal style, and we'll see where that takes him. As of right now, I think he's a very strong vocalist. I don't think that there's like this big wow factor. Like, I don't think he's doing anything that we haven't, really heard. I just think he's really good at doing it. I'm feeling a B+ for Will. I know the 3 ads are about around the same feeling, but with all the new reasoning that I've added, I really feel that this is strong. Like, they kind of all resonate around A-, B+. Like, just a really good vocalist, just straight up good shit, man. Good stuff, boys. Good boy stuff. Thank you guys for your time. I'm sure I still miss somebody's favorite vocalist, and I apologize for that. But, what are you gonna do? You can't please everybody. Appreciate you guys checking it out. Let's get back to that yummy, yummy tier list. Johnny, play me out. No, the other one, we talked about this. No, you don't play. You don't play the intro until I'm ready to play. Fuck it. All right, just cut.
Right.
Extreme nozzles bounces on you, ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your bolt from across the floor. Nozzles your neck, you wake you to paper to
Up next, we got Ben Doer, vocalist. I used a picture of him when he was like 12 because I thought it'd be funny. I think he's honestly like an S tier.
Yeah, I put him in S.
I cannot believe like how, because his vocals aren't quiet. They're like they're not the loudest, but they're not like, know. And the fact that this dude spits as much as he does, like how many like words he consistently says, and it doesn't feel choppy. It's like the flow is consistent.
Yeah.
And like, his endurance, his range is really good. His lyrics are pretty sick, and I think his placement's very creative. Like, there's some crazy like just fast ass things, or like that Heretic Prevail song, that like gnarly breakdown where he does like 6 different screams in one breakdown.
Oh yeah, he's, I would say S tier for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he's definitely like a
great.
pinnacle of death.
Those three up top,
core.
I feel really good about those three for sure.
I as well feel that.
And
way.
you might as well throw the next one up top too.
Alex, see, okay, I gotta say though, with Alex Turner, I feel more of like a very high A.
Very high A.
Yes.
I don't think he's quite S tier. I think that he's got the best mid screen that
He has.
exists.
I think he has the best mid-low.
But that's
screen
where it
in the
stops.
game.
Like,
in the
because
game.
his high is very bird-like, and I'm not a fan. It's got that like it's like all nose, and not huge on that. But man, that mid is so good.
Yeah,
and
low mids.
I would say best lows in the game.
straight up, yeah, that's
Best
like
lows in the game.
That's like
other than like Dickie, other than the S tiers, right? I would say other than the S tiers.
even then sometimes it's like
Like
you know,
his,
I think
what
there's
it,
parts
what
of
it
him that
is-
overlap. Some
What
of
it is that he has the best articulation with the amount of power and raw energy in his lows.
Right.
You
Well,
can
and so, like-
understand exactly what he's saying, and it's just
the fact that he's able to maintain
it's just gnarly.
the like tone of the low
Yeah.
and being so opened mouth is
Yeah,
like what's
like that's
crazy.
always been a huge thing for me. Is like it's impressive, but if I can't understand what you're saying, it's like you're just making toilet noises.
Right.
With him, I've always been able to understand his lows,
Right.
and they're
Right.
the fullest, most powerful lows
Yeah.
I think I've ever.
Like those little
Agreed.
Instagram, like TikTok style videos where he's just like
Yeah.
being
screaming.
Russian as
Yeah,
fuck.
he's screaming with no mic in his room, and it's just like, whoa!
Whoa,
It fills
yeah.
up the entire room. Like it's
really,
like,
yeah.
holy shit, you're loud as fuck.
Very
He's
sick.
like, he's good. He's fucking great.
Very, very much agree. Up next, we got Adam Warren from Oceano.
Donald Glover.
Okay, I would say
No, Vince, it's a different black.
Yeah. It's from here.
I set you up, dude.
How's it going bad?
I'm kind of like on the fence with Adam Warren because he has done some things I've heard and seen that are incredibly nasty in a good way, and then a lot of stuff I've seen that's like,
He peeks like in and out of like,
You know.
that was sick. And then, all right, well, what's this?
yeah, because I've seen some live footage of him just,
Dude,
just
yeah.
disgusting.
He's got some of the gnarliest sounding lows
just
live.
disgusting, but then like his
Disgusting?
album sound, I'm not ever been to. It's very like either shrieky cheetah sound, or it's like,
I wonder
or
if
it's like you can't understand a single word he's saying. And like I said, for me, it's always really big on articulation. If I can't understand
Right.
what they're saying, that's why I kind of like people more like Brooke Reeves and all that stuff. But,
yeah, I agree.
But I would say I've seen it in some really wicked shit, so I would say like a high C.
High C?
For me.
I was feeling B.
Yeah, I was gonna say B or even A.
Yeah, I
From
think
what I've
that's...
experienced live, because I'm kind of with you on that. I honestly like them better live than I do on
Yeah,
records.
100%, dude.
Yeah, it's
there's-
weird, right?
When I
I don't
showed
know if
you,
it's maybe
yeah.
how they mix it,
Yeah.
how it's
Yeah,
produced.
maybe
I
he
don't know.
hasn't found a guy that like can capture his
Yeah,
full
I don't
sound
know.
yet.
With a
Maybe.
good manly mic. Or no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like live, yeah, he
Keep in
hits it. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like a B is
Yeah, I would
good.
say like a
Like a little, like even here.
Yeah.
Here, fit right under that. All right, up next we got Philly Bo.
Philly Bo.
Founder
Yes.
time.
I gotta give him S.
I was honestly this was my when I did this in my like free time. This was my S tier. So
Yeah,
it's funny
S
that
tier.
we're already here.
Yeah. I mean, he's such an OG. He's such an inventor. He
gotta
was the
give
first
credit
dude
where
to
you
fucking do it. At least that got like publicly like caused a movement of deathcore, right? Like he's the man. He's
Yeah,
the OG. You
and
gotta give
he
it
was
to him.
doing shit with it that nobody else was doing. Like
Yeah.
everyone was like,
And
"Oh,
that
I think
live
I-"
video of Unanswered, disgusting,
Unmatchable.
disgusting. Like,
Well, yeah, like when he came out at the time too, like everyone was doing like, okay, I figured out how to do a high, a mid, and a low. Let's just do deathcore.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was like fucking
Yeah, his
spitting
patterns,
and
dude.
doing some, yeah, he was beyond. Like everyone else was figuring out how to do it, and he was like, dude, I'm on it. Like I know
Yeah.
how to do it. Get out of my way.
Yeah.
And hearing him live too, it's just like, all right, Phil, I see you. You ain't no joke.
Oh
dog.
yeah, he's insane.
presence
He's
live,
insane.
great.
Not huge on range, obviously. He has a few sounds. His highs aren't the
Right.
best.
But he
it's-
doesn't.
oh,
He uses them in accents which is
so
nice.
good.
Like he'll
It's
do it for
so
faster
good.
parts or something, and he makes up for it so much more in other ways. Like the creativity
Yeah.
of the flow and shit is
Yeah.
so commendable in deathcore to be like, I'm the flow guy. You know, that's how fucking. And his newer shit, the emotion in like the newer album has been
He's branching
crazy.
out.
Yeah, how
he's
his
trying
evolution.
new things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
cool.
Yeah,
He's not just stuck in his way, which
Pioneering
is just like so,
continuously.
just like annoying because it's like we've heard this a million times.
Right.
Very sick vocals.
All right.
Up next, we got Eddie Hermida from Suicide Silence / All Shall Perish. I think Eddie is a roller coaster of a vocalist.
I would say All Shall Paris.
All shall perish. All shall perish.
All Shall Perish. I would have put him in an A. As it is now, I would say B, personally, because I think he is very good. He's got them like high shrill highs. He's got that like really gnarly lows.
I feel very middle about him. I think he was probably more versatile and a little more well-rounded in the All Shall Perish days. Now it's like a little more fit to the like, we gotta be more understandable and a little more to the formula of like mid and high and low when it's needed, rather than like be crazy on your track and do wild stuff.
My only critique for him would be the tone of. He has a lot of range, but the tone of some of his higher screams is a little shrill. So that's the only. That's the only thing that bothers me. It kind of feels like when a singer goes. It's a little catty. Right. It's a little. It's kind of like. It's a little just, but I'd give it a B. I'd say B.
Which with that stuff too, if he leaned into it more and like the old shrill like whistly stuff he used to do, like if he went in and out of that instead of just letting it go.
I mean, to be fair, hearing them live is when I really noticed the ear piercingness of his high.
Right.
And maybe it's just so high that it hits this like frequency that hurts.
The high just hit different.
It just becomes this like kind of nail in my ear a little bit sometimes if the mix is really loud. That's the only thing I'd say. I'd give him a B for sure.
Give it a B?
I'd give him a B.
How you feeling, Vince? Like B, like
if it was All Shall Perish specifically, I'd say A, but I'm gonna say like B minus.
B minus? Put him in B minus. Put him like B under Scott.
Okay.
Up next we got Coiler Shelton. Tyler Shelton from Traitors.
Uniqueness alone. I mean, his sound is
and adaptivity. I will say that he's
like a WWE wrestler who became a deathcore vocalist.
That's hilarious.
Like take Macho Man's voice and then put it to a scream.
Even as like him as a person to his character, like you would fucking look like you would like adorn a mask and fucking pile drive somebody.
Pretty sure.
I think the adaptability of his vocals is a big thing to know.
It is. I will give him credit. It is hard to match that scream he does, like the certain tone he has. Like a long time ago, we tried to do, or we did a vocal cover. I did or something. I don't remember what it was, but it was very difficult for me to get that like sound. So I got to give him that. I would say between A and B for me.
Yeah, I'm feeling A just on the purpose of like the fact that he's been able to maintain that unique sound and adapt around it and not just be like, I'm the moose guy. I'm the moose. Like on their first full length, he like brought out like a new like low that he hadn't done before, and then like the next album he like manipulated that moose into more of his lows and got more into like the mid flow, and it was like okay, and then like the newer shit even he's doing like different types of flows and screams. I'm like okay, he's definitely like he's growing all the time as a vocalist.
I feel good about putting.
And I think live too, he excels a lot.
I feel very good about A. For
Agreed.
sure.
Up next, we got Oliver Sykes in the Scene era specifically because he's not a deathcore boy anymore.
Yeah.
Sure, it was like of the times it fit, but like, let's be real. If you were to hear anyone scream like him on a vocal cover, you would be like, this is bad. This sounds like every entry-level deathcore vocalist.
So true.
And with that in mind, like I'm almost feeling the first F on that.
I would put
but not
a
harsh F.
I would put
I'm thinking like there.
Yeah, if we're going specifically scream tone and all that, not like anything else. I've never been a huge fan.
Yeah.
I would probably say more C, but I'll let you take the reins on this one.
Well, Dents can be the decider.
Dents, what do you say? Give me
Come on, Dents into Lou.
First doingus. Yeah, I'm honestly kind of on the same part with the whole FDF. As far as FDF.
Right, just
when they were heavier.
I
was just not a fan, especially. Like I was just like,
okay, what's all compromise? The C to the D to the F. Let's just do just a clear D.
Clear D.
Just
see-through cock.
Yeah, see-through cock. Ollie Sykes is our first D. Sorry, buddy. Pray for Plagues gets you a D. Sorry, fam. You can't escape it. It's
I mean,
done.
it's hard because it was like an iconic album, but it's like vocally, it's like no one was really doing it at the time. But
you guys smell that? Is that piss?
Smells like.
Is that piss? Is CJ McCreery up next? You know what I'm feeling, guys?
DJ R. Kelly.
Personally, I would give him PP. For PP. I think that's a good place for him as a vocalist. So overall, like the smell, the flow, execution of it, adaptation to backlash.
P for piss.
Invisibility technique. That's pretty impressive.
His cloaking ability.
Is pretty high. So yeah, P tier vocalist on our first P tier. Are you guys cool with CJ McCrew being our first P tier vocalist?
What does vocal sound like? Just editing the fucking
A toilet, the pee going into a toilet. He's the
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, he's a sick vocalist for sure.
pee for piss.
pissed here. Nobody wants their fighter to be in pissed here. We appreciate you guys watching. It means a lot. Let's see if you guys agree with our list. If not, let us know where you guys would have put people on the list. Let us know if we missed anybody. I feel like I got most relevant.
There's gonna be all comments of what about this guy? What about this guy?
Revenge. But either way, thank you guys, appreciate it. We're on Twitch. Come hang out with us live. We stream Monday through Fridays. Don't be a doink. Idiot.
Don't be a doink. Come get some coink.
Hey, don't be a bitch. Say some Twitch.
Dude, I've been meaning to talk to you.
I'm so sorry. You gotta stop saying this.
You have to stop belittling our clients.